So we're back with another wrestler ramble, not a match ramble this time. I'm going to be talking about a current AEW roster member, which I feel like I haven't done in a while. Probably only been like a few days. But we're going to be talking about the one, the only, Speedball Mike Bailey. Now, Speedball is a very interesting wrestler to me. I think Speedball is truly one of the best in-ring workers they've got. I think Speedball is just everything. Speedball is one of the most reliable guys you've got as well. I think Speedball hits the nail and home runs a lot of the times. That C2 run was just a perfect example of that. And I think now with the Kevin Knight stuff was a good time to talk about it, because I hope this is the chance he gets his flowers. I think Speedball is going to be and I think he's proven it, to be a very, very pivotal part of what AEW is. I think out of the modern day, I think the best two signings you could say have been made is him and Ricochet. And I think they're both very much the same purpose, but on either ends. Super reliable, super entertaining, over as hell. And I think Speedball fills the role a bit better just because Speedball as a face, I think AEW does kind of struggle to have these, these faces continuously. I feel like they do try and look at Hangman, even Kenny, people like that. I think a lot of the faces do turn heel at some point. And, that's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like Speedball's one of those guys where, as a face, he's so over, but as a heel, even though I've seen limited amounts, my buddy Bishop says it all the time, there's an irredeemable douchebag in Mike Bailey. Like, he's insane. And I just think Speedball, it's going to sound weird, he's a very modern equivalent in terms of Pac, in terms of everything, and I think he's older than Pac, which is weird. I think Speedball, just what he does, I think the tag division, everything about, obviously, he's a perfect underdog. I think that's a perfect way to describe Speedball. He's a perfect underdog, and I think how over he is with the fans, he's clearly a fan favourite. He's got time for all of the fans. I've seen that on social media. And above all else, he's just a phenomenal in-ring worker. I mean, I love Kevin Knight. I've said this for a while. Kevin Knight is unbelievable. Kevin Knight is not as over as he is right now without Speedball Mike Bailey. Nowhere near. And then you've got the match like fucking Kenny, Speedball, and Ricochet had the triple threat, and Speedball held his own perfectly. It was a great match. You got Speedball against Kevin Knight in the C. That entire C2. Speedball versus Kyle Fletcher is one of the best matches of the entire year last year. It was insane, and even this year it was great. And they're going to run him and Kevin back. Speedball versus Pac obviously was great. Speedball versus Okada was absolutely insane. Like, there's so much you could do with Speedball. And I think he's one of those characters and one of those wrestlers where, like Christian, admittedly, where he can just fit in anywhere. And it's such a, I don't think a lot of people give credit to that. I think Speedball can do anything. You give him a title shot, works. You can put him in the mid-card, works. Tag, trios, whatever, works. He just works every single time, and he hits it out the park. Like, I just think, personally, I think Speedball's such an important asset. I do. I think wherever he goes is just going to be magic. And I don't think he'll leave AEW, God no. But I think I just think Speedball's incredible. I do. I think Speedball, the only problem I have with Speedball is the damn feet. I just hate the damn feet, but I think that's fun. Like, I think Speedball's a funny dude as well. Like, bro, when the fajitas, fuck off. The HorseCock. That dude's funny as hell. He's funny. And I don't think he gets I think Speedball really benefits from being totally online. I think he really benefits from that. I think he has a lot. Obviously, he's got the Speedball vlogs. He's got, obviously, his Twitter, which pops off. He's one funny dude. And again, just adds to that versatility of Speedball. And then, we're not even talking about the in-ring stuff specifically. Ironically enough, the speed of Speedball is insane. And that's not even including the athleticism, the high-flying ability he's got. Jesus Christ. The dude can fucking do it all. Absolutely do it all. And I love AEW. I love AEW's roster. I think it's one of the best rosters in the world, if not the best. And I think every single wrestler is incredible. I think not all of them are as complete as Mike Bailey. I don't. I think a lot of them, again, look at someone like a Hangman. I love Hangman. I think Hangman's one of the best wrestlers in the world. Same with Max, MJF, Swerve, whoever, even Ospreay, Moxley, whoever you name. Not all of them are as well-rounded as a Speedball. I'm not saying Speedball is better than fucking John Moxley. God, no, I'm not. But John Moxley couldn't do what Speedball does. Nowhere near. And admittedly, because of the size, you could say Speedball can't do what John Moxley can do. But I don't know. I feel like that's a genetic thing. Everything that's not genetic, Speedball can do everything. Does that make sense? Like, he can't be an imposing, like, you know, giant because he's just not that. But Jesus, he can be a great underdog, great heel. Again, he can slot in anywhere. The dude's just phenomenal worker. I wonder, again, with the Kevin stuff, I wonder what we do. I feel like that's the big thing for him. I think that's going to be his big focus. And honestly, the guy deserves it. He's great. He's really good. And I feel like what I think with Speedball is... I liked the Mistico stuff. I thought it was short-lived, but I thought that was a real good direction with him and Kevin as Jet Speed. Jet Speed as a whole, how they never won the tag belts was beyond me. I feel like this is going to be a hot take, and I don't want to just divulge this into just, oh, we're going to talk about the feud. No, I just want to, like, I think Speedball might turn heel. I feel like that makes sense. I feel like Speedball's going to turn heel with Kevin. I think Jet Speed are going to remain a team, but they're going to go heel. And I think that's going to be like a big shock. I feel like that's going to work too. I feel like they've really got a lot of shit behind that. I think you could do Speedball as a heel with Kevin. Like, Speedball being that mentor, but then he's been keep getting bested by Kevin, especially in that title match when Kevin was like, I'm proud of you, Speedball. Like, shit, like talking down to him in a way. That was really cool. I think the biggest problem with Speedball is I just don't think he's ever going to be a guy for the world title. And I feel like it's not his fault. I just feel like Speedball's never going to have that motion. And don't get me wrong, I would love him to. I think he's 100% deserving of that. But I feel like you give Speedball the TNT. I think, honestly, the International reeks of Speedball. That is the perfect scene for that guy. You got him versus Takeshita, him versus Fletcher. That scene's been revitalized. Just fucking go for it. I can picture him with that belt. I think it fits him more than the TNT belt. I think the TNT belt he does better with, because everyone in that scene just needs putting over, and there's no better guy to do that than Speedball. And I think him as the international champ, I just don't know why. I just think that's like when you get certain champions in AEW, it's going to sound stupid, like Hangman or Bryan for the world. You're just like, that's it, that fits. Same with Max, you know, all these other people. And like, I think Speedball with the international, that just works. I don't know what it is, that just works for me. Again, I do think he'll stay in the tag division for a bit longer, with Kevin or with not. I don't know who else you could team with after Kevin. Admittedly, bring Mistico back, that's who I want. But, I don't know. I think Speedball, there's a lot going, and I think now that the Kevin stuff's underway, now that he's like kind of still... Kevin Knight's clearly getting pushed on a singles direction, which is more than deserved, again, thanks to Speedball's work. I think Speedball deserves that big story. I don't know what that story is. I think just Speedball deserves something to do consistently and have a bit of a narrative. I don't know if you just want to have that be a basic underdog story. He needs to win the belt. Speedball can do whatever, you know what I mean? He can carry any story. I feel like the guy, honestly, I'd put him in a feud. I don't know who with. I feel like someone like, I'm trying to think who. Like someone, I don't know, like the Don Callis family is such an easy guess, but give me someone like, obviously Kevin's the big one, but give me someone like a fucking, I don't know, give me someone like a fucking Hechicero. That could bang, actually. El Con, oh, you know how much I love El Con. You know, whatever, just give me something like that with Speedball. I think that's definitely something for him. But honestly, Speedball not being in a true faction as well, he reeks of conglomeration in a good way. Like, he's so conglomeration pilled, it's insane. And I don't know, he's very charming, very charismatic, how do you say the word? Charismatic, that's it. And I feel like that's very important and a very underrated aspect of modern wrestling now, especially in AEW. I think Speedball carries that, and I just think he's just like someone you watch and you enjoy. You enjoy the hell out of Speedball, and I think, honestly, when you boil it down to basic wrestling terms, what more do you want? You know what I mean? Like, Speedball's that fucking guy. And I don't know. I don't think he ever wins. I think he's going to be like an Orange Cassidy. I do. I feel like he's just going to be so pivotal, so integral, and just every time there. But will he ever reach the heights that he could? No, but I don't think that affects him because everyone knows how good they are. You know what I mean? Like, that's how good Speedball is. But I just wanted to round about Speedball because I think he's excellent. I think it's a definite great time. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns heel. I really wouldn't. But whatever they're doing with Speedball, it's working. One of the best signings they've ever made, ever. And that's saying something. I just think Speedball's, everything he's done, he deserves a credit, deserves at least some moments of recognition. He is incredible. No notes for Speedball. Keep it going. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Speedball Mike Bailey. One of my favourite wrestlers on the roster. I think he's one of the most just fun to watch, frankly. Very simple, but he is most fun. Let me know what you think of Speedball. Let me know what you think is going to happen with him and Kevin. But also just let me know what you think of Speedball as a whole, because I really like Speedball. Who doesn't?